Welcome to the Success Face, a YouTube channel dedicated to empowering professionals to become leaders in their field. In today's video, we will be discussing the importance of emotional intelligence for project managers with expert Anthony Mersino. Emotional intelligence, or the ability to understand and manage your own emotions and the emotions of others, is a crucial skill for project managers to possess in order to effectively lead and communicate with team members. Tune in to learn how developing your emotional intelligence can help you excel as a project manager and lead your team to success. The ability to recognize and manage one's emotions is referred to as emotional intelligence. A strong emotional intelligence can help you understand other people's feelings and motivate them to do better work as a manager. Emotions are described as sad, angry, scared, happy, excited, and tender by the abbreviation SASHET. Other emotions are encompassed by each of these. The first building block of emotional intelligence is self-awareness. Perceiving and managing one's emotions as well as assessing how they affect one's relationships with other people is part of self-awareness. Emotions are unpredictable and never-ending, so it's hard to tell what they are. You can experience multiple emotions simultaneously at any given time. Unlearning bad habits from the past is another part of mastering emotional intelligence. Due to difficult childhoods or other traumatic experiences, some people may not be able to feel or acknowledge certain emotions. Since emotions manifest physically, observe your body to gauge them. Anger, for instance, manifests as a rapid heartbeat, clenched jaw, churning stomach, and heat sensation. Relaxed muscles and smiles or laughter are signs of happiness. Inappropriate humor, hostility, sarcasm, a sense of victimhood, or overly sensitive responses to other people are examples of emotional red flags. Being consistently late or exceeding your authority are two examples of passive-aggressive behavior, which frequently conceals anger. Self-appraisal is tied in with review ourselves precisely and looking for criticism from others to work on our presentation. To conduct an accurate self-evaluation, you must view yourself objectively. Ask individuals you trust for criticism to choose where you could move along. Maintain your self-confidence, that strong sense of one's self-worth and capabilities, while remaining receptive to what is said. To copy somebody with self-assurance, search for individuals who kid about themselves. Self-management project managers must control their emotions, both good and bad, to maintain a good reputation, keep good team members, and create a friendly working environment. Simply recognizing an emotion can sometimes lessen its impact. Know when you're feeling too stressed out so you can relax, look at your options, and choose the best course of action. Our success in self-awareness, self-management, and social awareness are determinants of our success in relationship management. Discretion assists you with keeping away from profound eruptions or breakdowns, which might appear as shouting, hammering entryways, sending terrible messages, staying away from individuals, censuring, being extra wry, behaving like a casualty, or attempting to settle the score. Pay attention to the possible emotional triggers that come before ugly events to avoid them. The mood of another person can be a trigger. If you find that you are extremely sensitive to the feelings of another person, try to figure out why and how to set stronger boundaries. Empathy is one of the most critical people skills for PMs and other leaders, and one of the most important aspects of social awareness. Being criticized, feeling sick, or dwelling on the moods of other people are additional emotional triggers. Learn what triggers a specific and undesirable behavior, and makes you open to threats, also known as your hot buttons. An emotional response can be triggered by any mental state. Negative thinking, formulating all or nothing conclusions, and self-scolding should be avoided. Being open and honest with the people we interact with on our project sounds like a simple thing to do, but it is rarely. Every one of these actions has a negative effect on how you feel. Remembering them can assist you with acquiring control and outfit your feelings beneficially. For instance, you might realize that fear is preventing you from developing and from taking advantage of new opportunities. Even if you recognize your fear, that doesn't mean you won't feel it. Push forward and set out to get out of your usual range of familiarity, in spite of dread. Outrage can likewise hamper you along these lines. Well-planned communications assist the PM in setting the team's emotional tone. Emotional breakdowns happen to everyone, and they often happen slowly. You can avoid or at least minimize a disruption if you are aware of yourself and pay attention to your warning signs. The conditions that increase the likelihood of a breakdown are referred to as hungry, angry, lonely, and tired, in the acronym HALT. Take good care of your physical and emotional health in addition to making your surroundings more inviting. Relationships with stakeholders. A lot of project managers who are driven by results just want to get the job done right and as quickly as possible. At first, they might not see it as important to understand someone else's feelings. However, they want to build strong relationships because relationships are at the heart of leadership, and this requires both social awareness and relationship management. One of the most important roles of a PM is to assign work assignments on a project. Empathy, organizational awareness, clearly seeing others, and emotional boundaries are the components of social awareness, which is defined as the ability to understand the emotions of others. Project managers need these a lot. As a project manager, you must constantly build and rebuild teams and quickly read new people because projects are only temporary. You need to be able to understand how other people communicate, understand their motives, decipher office politics, give and receive feedback, and identify and address negative behaviors. Resident leaders are those who are able to manage and direct emotions to assist a group in achieving its objectives. People are naturally self-centered and love to impose their ways on others, so it can be difficult to develop empathy, the ability to relate to their feelings. However, patience is sometimes required for effective managerial communication, which will increase your empathy. Before making any decisions, confirm what you think you are hearing in order to learn how others feel. Take note of the speaker's eyes and face. It's possible that your past and biases will prevent you from seeing others. To look and feel better, people lie to themselves and use criticism to keep others at a distance. The overarching component of the emotional intelligence framework for PMs is project team leadership. Put empathetic listening into practice, listening to someone without judging them, to improve comprehension. This shows that you value the speaker as an individual and improves your communication and relationship with them. Keep eye contact. Allow the other person to speak. Pay attention to his or her feelings. Be aware of your biases and try to ignore them. Understanding others and even anticipating their actions are made easier when you can clearly see them. The majority of people do this naturally. Take the time to get to know your coworkers and look for the best in them. You won't have as much of a tendency to criticize people if you learn about their best qualities. We can look beyond the emotions to the principles involved once we understand the emotional landscape. The ability to read the currents of emotions and political realities in groups is the definition of organizational awareness. This entails learning about your company's key power relationships, as well as its corporate culture as a whole and its behavioral norms and values. Establish emotional boundaries and determine where one person's emotions leave off and another's begin, within the context of your organization. Recognize that individuals are in charge of their own emotions. You don't feel this way about anyone else. Try substituting, "I feel angry," for, "You made me angry." Fix limits. Choose how you will react to the emotions of other people and take responsibility for your own emotions. As pioneers, we should zero in on ourselves before we can attempt to oversee or lead others. Taking on other people's moods and feelings, giving up your interests to please others, never saying no, and having trouble expressing your wants and needs are all warning signs of boundary issues. Improve your empathetic listening skills. Pay attention to your feelings during interactions. Pay attention to warning signs like hostility from other people, and double-check that you understood what they were feeling. Relationship management is important to project managers because they often have to negotiate, work with teams, may not have direct authority, and compete for resources. Stakeholder relationships, developing others, and truth-telling are, in their opinion, the most important components of relationship management. You must first be aware of what you feel before you can feel what others feel. Stakeholders frequently continue to be actively involved in a project. Understanding your stakeholders' roles in the project will help you build relationships with them. Learn how they communicate. To come up with strategies for building and maintaining positive relationships, you might want to think about keeping track of this data in a spreadsheet. By investing in their subordinates and encouraging them to develop, project managers ought to set the standard. Offer coaching and challenges that encourage new skills, provide feedback, and recognize your staff members' strengths and accomplishments. While giving out tasks, consider the group's drawn-out needs, the undertaking and the individual. It's harder than it sounds to tell the truth. It entails not lying and asserting oneself, even when doing so is challenging or leads to conflict. In some conversations, you may think that the only options are to explode or remain silent. Instead, decide how to proceed. Consider your desired destination and undesirable outcome. The next step is to look for ways to get there. Positive team leadership entails selecting the right team members, establishing open lines of communication, motivating them, and laying out a clear path for them to follow in order to achieve the project's objectives. A project manager needs to have the ability to communicate effectively. Keep your goals in mind, pay attention to your and their feelings, and approach each team member at the right time, place, and manner to improve your communication with them as you work together. Be careful when using instant messaging and email because you never know who might see something you don't want to share with. Sometimes, nonverbal communication is more important than words. Resolve conflict when you can't avoid it. Compromising, accommodating, forcibly, avoiding or withdrawing, and confronting or collaborating are traditional conflict resolution strategies. Emotional intelligence helps people get a better understanding of how everyone feels, wants, and needs things, and it makes it possible to come to a peaceful solution. Empower yourself with emotional intelligence so that you can incorporate your emotions into your decision-making. Setting team goals, also known as vision casting, along with creating mission, vision, and values statements. Project managers who are inspirational leaders can encourage their teams to improve and motivate them to do so. Project chiefs additionally impact their groups by showing others how it's done, being hopeful, implementing the principles, and facing the board for the benefit of their kin. They should give credit to each person for their accomplishments, hold everyone equally accountable, and keep the mood light by making use of humor to improve communication. Teamwork, diversity, dedication, and mutual respect are all hallmarks of a healthy workplace. By channeling these variables in accordance with the concepts of emotional intelligence, you can become a leader who resonates more. Manage and direct feelings to help a group meet its goals, according to resonant leaders. In fact, more advanced levels of emotional intelligence are required for large, complex projects. The project manager must be adaptable and use the appropriate leadership styles. Emotional intelligence is one of the most important skills for virtual teams. Right off the bat in a virtual group's development, attempt to have an eye-to-eye meeting with each part. Since the turn of the century, more and more companies are working on agile projects. The conventional leadership style of command and control is no longer relevant. Leaders on teams now need to get out of the way and let the team figure it out and succeed. Thank you for watching The Success Face and our video on emotional intelligence for project managers. We hope that you have gained valuable insights and strategies for improving your emotional intelligence as a project manager. Remember, emotional intelligence is an important aspect of effective leadership and can help you better understand and connect with your team, as well as navigate difficult situations and challenges. Keep practicing and developing your emotional intelligence, and be sure to check out our other videos for more tips and strategies for becoming a successful leader. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again soon on The Success Face.